thought it'd be fun today to go back to some old things that I used to do back when I was a pink little puppy dog. And read some creepypasta stories as well. Some old ones. Old classics, if you will. Because that's what I used to do a very long time ago. For those who weren't here when I was once upon a time a pink little puppy dog, I had little storybook days where I would sit and read like old creepypastas. Can we read Tiki Toby? Maybe. We'll see how much time we have. I already have a few classics that I want to read before anything else. If we have extra time after that, then we'll do, any, I guess. We'll just go through the fucking wiki and see what we can find. But we have more important things first. I have a list, Jet, and I have made a slideshow for the list, as you can see. The first suggestion was Dr. Swiss, which Rise attached a fucking rap beat to, which I will not be rapping, because that is not what an ASMR stream is. Maybe one day, but today is not that day. If you can read God's mouth, one of the best out there, I'd be mighty grateful. Maybe, we'll see. You can do silent rap, absolutely not. Just whisper everything. This is just pre-game for the karaoke stream. I don't know when I'm ever gonna get the courage to do a karaoke stream. I'd love to eventually. One day we'll figure it out, one day. There's an ASMR rap battle out there, really? I shouldn't be surprised, but that's fucking awesome. Maybe I'll invite people on one day to do a fucking rap battle with me. We'll see. But we have Fox in Socks by Dr. Swiss. For some fucking reason. I feel like this is being mean to my dyslexia, based on what I'm reading here. And it had Heather Feather. Awesome. We have, hold on. Let me take a sippy before I start reading. I've been fine the entire fucking day, chat. And as soon as I start talking, my fucking throat is like, oh, dehydration? Now? Right now? That's one bottle down, baby. I threw that in the corner of my room. I'll deal with that later. Now the only liquid I have left is fucking Sunkissed. 1 down, 99 to go. I did not prepare that much as I should, realistically, for these fucking streams. The issue is, I either make myself sound really dehydrated when I talk, or I sound too wet. And I don't want my mouth to be too wet, so I guess I just die. Who knows? Don't you fucking Ayo me. You know damn well what I'm fucking talking about. My fucking god. Sunkiss the dog? Who the fuck is Sunkiss the dog? Stop Ayoing me. I'm so fucking sick of you. Let me read this goddamn Fox in Socks, motherfucker. By Dr. Swiss. We have Fox, Socks, Box, Knox. Knox in Box. Fox in Socks. Knox on Fox in Socks in Box. Socks on Knox and Knox in Box. Fox in Socks on Box on Knox. What the fuck is this? Chicks with bricks come. Chicks with blocks come. Chicks with bricks and blocks and clocks come. Look, what the fuck is this? Is this real or is this edited? Look, sir, Mr. Knox, sir. Let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and clocks, sir. First, I'll make a quick trick brick stack. Then I'll make a quick trick block stack. You can make a quick trick chick stack. You can make a quick trick clock stack. What the fuck is this about? And here's a new trick, Mr. Knox. Socks on chicks and chicks on fox. Fox on clocks and bricks and blocks. Bricks and blocks on Knox on box. It's not edited, Jesus Christ. Now we come to ticks and talks, sir. Say this, Mr. Knox, sir. Clocks on fox tick. Box on Knox talk. 6 6 6 sick bricks tick. 6 chicks talk. Dr. Seuss really just made a career by just saying shit. He really just went, I'm just gonna say shit. And, and he got away with it. Me with my speech problem, watching in amazement as I'd fuck up the second word. I'm fighting for my life right now. I have fucking dyslexia, bro. Do you know how hard this is for me? I'm fucking fighting for my life. Please, sir. I don't like this trick, sir. My tongue isn't quick or slick, sir. I get all those ticks and clocks, sir. Mixed up with the chicks and talks, sir. I can't do it, Mr. Fox, sir. I'm so sorry, Mr. Knox, sir. Here's an easy game to play. Here's an easy thing to say. New socks, 2 socks. Whose socks? Sue's socks. Who sues? Whose socks? Sue sues. Sue's socks. Fuck you for submitting this. You suck. You suck so bad. You know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what the fuck you're doing. You... Damn right, go fuck yourself. You're the worst. Who sees who sue, so whose new socks, You see Sue's new socks, That's not easy, Mr. Fox, Who comes? Crow comes. Slow Joe Crow comes. Where the fuck did Sloppy Joe come from? Why is Sloppy Joe part of this now? Who sues Crow's clothes? Sue sues Crow's clothes. Slow Crow, Crow sews. Whose clothes? Sue's clothes. Sue sues socks of Fox in socks now. Slow Joe Crow sues knocks in box now. Sue sews rose on Slow Joe Crow's clothes. Fox sews hose on Slow Joe Crow's nose. Hose grows, rose grows. Nose hose grows some. Crow's rose grows some. Mr. Fox, I hate this game, sir. This game makes my tongue quite lame, sir. Mr. Knox, sir. What a shame, sir. Dr. Seuss really made a living just by going, I'm just gonna say some fucking bullshit. And people are just gonna... Like, he just said some shit. And when people were like, hey, this doesn't make sense, he went, actually, this is really profound. You just don't understand. It's really profound. And it has it's for kids, but it's really profound and it has a lot of meaning. Only kids are gonna understand. You wouldn't get it. You just wouldn't get it. You just wouldn't get it. And he got away with it. And now he has like 16,000 fucking books and like a movie about the fucker. That fucking sucked. Thank you. What's the next one? Oh. Dr. Seuss for real when I doxed a fox with chicken pox, he did. I don't know why didn't he get into rapping, bro? He would have been wonderful. He has other stuff. I don't fucking know, dude. You think I keep up with Dr. Seuss? We have something more important though. We have the good ending of the Vaporeon story, which I was very happy to see. Did you know? In terms of huggability, Vaporeon is the most comfortable Pokemon for hugging. Vaporeon's average size and plush fur make it incredibly huggable. Its composition of 80% water makes its fur extraordinarily soft, making it feel like hugging a living, breathing water pillow. Vaporeon's friendly and approachable demeanor means it enjoys giving hugs as much as receiving them. It's able to wrap its tail and fins around its hugging partner, providing a sense of warmth and comfort that is unmatched. Plus, Vaporeon's unique ability to regulate its body temperature makes it perfect for a cuddle buddy, keeping you cool on a hot day or warming you up when it's cold. Not to mention, Vaporeon can dissolve into water and reappear at will, making surprise hugs a fun and playful experience. So, if you're looking for a Pokemon that offers the best hugs in the Pokemon world, Vaporeon is your top choice. It's like hugging a super soft, friendly, and comforting water creature that's always happy to see you. Anything about Vaporeon is cursed with how the internet has ruined it. This is the happy ending. This is the good ending. Hi, Sylvie, how are you? I hope you're well. This is the good ending, chat. We finally got the good ending. We can relax now. Vaporeon is finally being treated right. Though I disagree, I will say I do disagree with this statement. I did think I talked about the good ending. We have to end the year with something fucking nice. We have to end the year with something nice, dude. Oh my god, I just saw what the next submission was, for fuck's sake. Listening in fear, waiting for the bad turn. No, that was the end. That was the end. Though I do disagree with the statement. I think there are much better Pokemon to hug, and also, not to fucking mention, look at the, like, scales on this motherfucker. I don't think they're the most comfortable to hug. It's got a giant fucking horn on top of its head, though. I feel like in the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Pokemon, surely there is someone better. What about, like, a fucking Snorlax? And also, I don't think they're fluffy. It described it as, like, having the softest fur ever. I don't think Vaporeon is fluffy, right? Vaporeon's got, like, silk skin. Okay, but a plushie is different. A plushie is a different fucking story. You know damn well what I'm trying to say. She's doing her best. I'm not saying that she's bad to hug. I'm just saying that there are probably better options out there, you know? There are probably better options. Why not just hug an Eevee? Yeah. Eevee's got like or like a Flareon. Look at it though, it's peak plushie. Okay. Let me look. Comfy Friends. Vaporeon. Oh, that is very cute. That is very cute. I do understand the appeal. The thing on top is a fin, so it's probably not spiky. Yeah, but it'd still be really uncomfortable, you know? You're gonna wrap green eggs in it. I am not wrapping anything today. I will not be wrapping anything. But yes, the next submission is fucking... It's not Jeff the Kill. We're not up to that yet. Where did fucking Dr. Swouse 2 go? What happened to Dr. Swouse 2? There it is. It's the fucking Swouse again. We'll do Jeff the Kill. We'll do... It's not time for Jeff the Kill yet. No, don't hold on me. It's not time for Jeff the Kill yet. It's not time for Jeff the Kill yet. We'll do Jeff the Kill next, okay? We'll do Jeff the Kill next. I don't want to read the entire fucking green eggs and ham script, bro. What the fuck? What do you mean, what the fuck is Jeff the Kill? You know damn well what Jeff the Kill is. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. You know damn fucking well what Jeff the Kill is. Come on. Yes, you do. Hi, Silent. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're well. I guess I'm doing fucking green eggs and ham. The entire green eggs and ham? Are you kidding me? For fuck's sake. Okay. I am lamb. Lamb I am. That lamb I am. I do not like that lamb I am. Would you like some green eggs and ham? I do not like them, lamb I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, lamb I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, lamb I am. Aren't you glad I only submitted half of Fox and Socks? I still can't believe that's a real fucking script. But whatever. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with a fox. Not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, lamb I am. Would you? Could you? In a car? Eat them. Here they are. This is a story about this fucking cat motherfucker trying to give someone food poisoning. Like, what is going on? I would not, could not, in a car. You may like them, you will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not, in a tree. Not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box. Can my desk shut the fuck up? Whatever you say, Sam, right? That's fucked up. I would not, could not, in a tree. Not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Lamb I am. A train, a train, a train, a train. Could you, would you, on a train? Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car, lamb. Let me fucking be. I would not, could not, in a box. I would not, could not, with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, lamb I am. Sorry, the followage bot thingy is broken. I still have to figure out how to fix it. I don't think they'd say that in a children's book. Train is a bad word. Yeah, you're right. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Say, in the dark? Here, in the dark. Would you? Could you? In the dark? Now he's just trying to fucking kill him, bro. This is fucked up. Someone could make a horror story out of this. I would not, could not, in the dark. Would you? Could you? In the rain? I would not, could not, in the rain. Not in the dark, not on a train. Not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, lamb, you see. Not in a house, not in a box. Not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, lamb I am. Could you, would you, with a goat? I would not, could not, with a goat. Would you, could you, on a boat? I could not, would not, on a boat. I will not, with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car, you let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, lamb I am. You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Lamb, if you let me be, I will try them. You will see. Say, I do like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, lamb I am. And I would eat them in a boat. And I would eat them with a goat. And I will eat them in the rain. And in the dark. And on a train. And in a car. And in a tree. They are so good, you say. So I will eat them in a box. I will eat them with a fox. And I will eat them in a house. And I will eat them with a mouse. And I will eat them here and there. Say, I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, lamb I am. This is a fucked up story about, like, drugging someone. I refuse to believe that this is just, like, a casual, like, kid-friendly fucking... This shit is drugs. Just saying, Nightbot actually doesn't do that command set anymore, so it's not broken just for you, it's broken for anyone. I see. That's unfortunate. Okay, I wonder if there's a new code to do. I'll look into that. Thank you for the heads up, though. Would you, could you, on a train reminds me of that one train accident that had display on EBS during the news and it foretold the crash. I remember that. That was investigated and it turns out a tech was doing tests using Dr. Seuss quotes and they were accidentally broadcasted. Literally just a calibration test using Dr. Seuss's Lorem Ipsum. That's so fucking scary. Jesus Christ. This is how parents get kids to try new food. Yeah, try these fucking green eggs, bro. I'm sure they're perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with my green eggs. I know that there's like a weird collection of fruit flies around them, but they just really enjoy the food. They just enjoy the food. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. They just really like the food. Don't worry about it. I know it smells kind of rotten, but that's just a quirk of the good food. You know what I mean? That's just a quirk. If the flies like it, you'll like it. Exactly. Exactly. James knows what's up. If the worms like them, you will too. If the flesh-eating amoeba enjoy the eggs, so will you. Don't worry about it. You can even put one of those flesh-eating amoeba directly into your mouth. Take a good old bite. There was a retelling of this as a creepypasta where it was post-apocalyptic and the green eggs and ham were like genetically modified, mass-produced food. That's fucking awesome. That's actually really creative, huh? That's not where I'd expect a creepypasta of that to go, but that's very creative. I appreciate that. Now, chat, we will go back to Jeff the Kill. Put it all the way into the brain and have them take over your thoughts. Put them in your ears. They will enjoy your earwax. Who the fuck is Jeff the Kill? You know damn well who Jeff the Kill is, bro. As I said, I wanted to include some creepypastas just to go back to classic old times. So we're gonna read Jeff the Killer, as well as a few others, but we'll get to those. Jeffrey Woods. Let me take a sippy before I start this bullshit. I have not read this in fucking years, so we're gonna see how well this aged. I broke it. It's okay. Me, Canyon, and Wendigoon covered it last week? Fuck. Shit. I promise I'm not copying. Damn. Why is everyone gonna do shit before me? That's how I fucking feel when I, Do you know how I fucking feels when I find an analog horror and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna cover this, and then literally the day before I'm about to do it, Night Mime releases a fucking video on it? Do you know how that fucking feels? I can't have shit, man. This image reminds me of the shitty Polish version of the creepypasta with like 50k spelling errors. That's awesome. I need to have the thing on my screen so I can read it with you. Look up Creepypasta Classics, Jeff the Killer. It'll come up with the whole thing. I can send a silly reading of Carnus and no, I can send a silly reading of it on YouTube. I think it has English subs, fuck yeah. Or when you cover Vita Carnus and you get there and 2 days later there's 5 new videos. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. That was still fucking heartbreaking. I'm still pissed off about that. But anyway. I want to read Jeff the Kill. You got pizza? I want pizza. Damn, I want pizza real bad. I need money. Pizza for Lamb Fund, please. But no, we're gonna see how well this aged. I was considering putting the fucked up image on screen, but I decided this was better. Do you not like Jeff the Kill Sexy Man? Iron Mouse's Lethal Company tournament was given 10k from Twitch and raised over 13k. Fuck yeah. Who won from that yesterday? I didn't get to see. I heard the creepypasta once and it's a little funny how far off reality it is. Nuh-uh. It's the most realistic story I've ever read in my life. I don't know what you mean. Kayson's team. Fuck yeah. Congrats to them. Oh my god. Very, very cool. I'm waiting for a full video of it to come out because I wasn't able to stick around for the stream, but it looked very cool. Welcome, welcome, Wolf. Coco, I mean Kayson. Be nice. Okay, let's see. Except from a local newspaper, ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase. It said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked. I punched. I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They will never leave my head. This is exactly what a young boy would say, by the way. I'd just like to preface that the one saying, there, in the little ray of light, illuminating from between my curtains, is apparently a young boy. I'd just like to add that in. Young boy who is going to grow up to be a fucking novelist, apparently. Should get this guy to meet Dr. fucking Seuss. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Liu, whatever. Couldn't complain though. A new, better house. What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son." She turns around and calls over her son, Billy. These are our new neighbors. Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband, Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Lou." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to their son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family were done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. "Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid." "Jeff," said his mother, "we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now, we're going to that party, and that's final." Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whenever his mom said something, it was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly, he got a weird feeling. Not so much a pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get stuff, and he walked down to get it. No fucking way, that's crazy. You ever just get a feeling, chat? You know when the feeling? You know when you get the feeling? A feeling? I'm not some dumb kid. That was when his mom came in and he did what he was told like a good little boy. You don't get it. You don't understand. You simply don't understand. It's hard for Jeff the Kill, man. It's hard for Jeff the Kill. Also, Megavirus, thank you for following. Welcome. How are you? Oh yeah, right. Crucial information. He's 13. Very important. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling, TM. This time, it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. Dude is having a fucking cardiac arrest episode. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for their bus, and then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. That was a fucking cool kid, bro. They both jumped in surprise. Hey, what the hell? Sounds like IBS. True. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked up his skateboard and caught it with his hands. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aero Staples shirt and ripped blue jeans. Well, well, well. Looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a side kid to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about... Holy shit. Talk about a tub of lard. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. What did the fucking author have against fat kids? What the fuck, bro? Damn. Holy shit. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling. Holy fuck, bro, relax. And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of this kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I had hoped you'd be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again. Now, he was truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet, or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Why do these 12-year-olds have knives? What is going on? Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. As you do, you know, really fucking easy to just like grab someone's wrist and snap it. You know, you just like give them the old twist. In this nice neighborhood, which makes me imagine like Desperate Housewives, yeah. God. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Jeff, how'd you... That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. So they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. This is not how this happens, by the way. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at his door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed." "Stabbed, son." Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, 1 having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" This... Hold on. Putting a small pin in the story real quick, this part of the story pisses me off so bad because legally this is not how this would fucking go at all. This shit... This is such bullshit and it makes me so mad. Let me be a fucking lawyer for a second, right? Let me be a lawyer for a second. So you have 3 kids that are supposedly in this story known bullies, right? Which means everyone in the neighborhood is fully aware of these bullies. They also carry around knives, and there is an implication that they do this to every new kid who moves in, implying that people know about this, right? So you do have evidence from other people to be like, yeah, these are 3 bullies, they attack people, right? So self-defense is something you could argue here and win, because every other kid in the fucking neighborhood would be like, yeah, this dude kicked the shit out of me. You think the edgy teen writer studied how laws work? I fucking guess not. Shit. Anyway, Jeff knew it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but then there was no proof. Yes, there was! That it was not them who attacked first. There was so much proof. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. Again, fingerprints, like neighborhood evidence, other neighborhood kid, whatever, my bad. Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it, since it was him who beat up all the kids. Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner and they both nodded. Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie. This is not how this fucking works, bro. Wait, says Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou. Fuck, Jesus, bro, America Simulator? It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Can the background music shut the fuck up? I'm trying to speak. Damn. Thank you. Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops. Coughs? Cops. No, Lou, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face. Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away. The police led Lou out to the patrol car. Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. Jeff, please. You don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. That was fucking quick, Jesus. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father back inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Lou at juvie. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. Fuck, I have dyslexia so bad. What? What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake. Why, it's Billy's party. He was now fully awake. What the fuck is them titties? Get the fuck out. Fucking titty jump scare. Holy shit. Hello? Thank you. Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after... There was a long pause. Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past few days. Now, get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party? That is a really good question. Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hit it with a smile. What is wrong with these fucking parents, bro? Holy shit. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression. No, it's not. Whatever, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, told his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it though. He looked around and only found striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. You're wearing that? They both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as they herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and as it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat. Hey, wanna play? He said. I'd just like to emphasize that they specifically use the W's in the fucking text to describe this as well, which is just really good. No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please? Said the kid. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and pretended to shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while, until he heard a noise. A weird, rolling noise. And then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello. Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Again, 12-year-olds at a fucking party with a group of adults inside watching this happen. But no, it's gonna be Jeff. It's all Jeff's fault. What the fuck, man? Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you and you got my brother sent to JDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no. I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. In front of a bunch of 8-year-olds too. This is awesome. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. Why do the 12-year-olds have a gun? 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 No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twists it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. At this point, the fucking parents inside would be seeing this, right? And being like, oh, that's those 3 kids kicking the shit out of my son. Something is wrong here. Better call the fucking cops. Or something like that. Okay, whatever. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he's kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff. Fight me. He picks Jeff up and throws him into the kitchen. This is a strong as fuck 12-year-old, by the way. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room. Come on, Jeff. Look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC. And now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot for a whole year. You should be ashamed. Again, he just said evidence out loud that every fucking parent heard. But sure. Oh, finally, you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. Sorry. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him into the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs a towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs a towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes as best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith now threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, dropped to the ground, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and other parents trying to extinguish the flame. That's when he passed out. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube in his arm, and when he tried to get up, it fell out and a nurse rushed in. "I don't think you can get out of bed just yet," she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. You know, just the tube that's there for inexplicable reason. Just the tube. You know, when you get a cut in your body and you get the tube. You know, the tube. Everybody has the tube in the hospital. "Honey, are you okay?" Oh wait, no, I skipped a little bit. Jeff sat there with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother. "Honey, are you okay?" she asked. Jeff couldn't answer though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. "Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you, they decided to let Lou go." "Oh, shit! The only good thing that happened?" This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. "He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again." Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those of Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover for his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," said the doctor. He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face. Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. That is fucked up. You are fucked up for that. That is so insanely fucked up to do to your son, bro. What the... Yeah, the absolute confidence that you would feel after hearing your fucking doctor who just did facial reconstructive surgery on you saying, shrug emoji, let's hope for the best, and then your mother being like, ew, like, what the fuck, I'd kill myself. This is the, you know what, I get why Jeff turned into Jeff the Kill, bro. I get it, I really get it. What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face, it was horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family and then back at the mirror. Jeff, said Lou. It's not that bad. Not that bad, said Jeff. It's perfect. His family were equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Jeff? Are you okay? Okay? I've never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha, look at me. His face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity, snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine, that is. His parents didn't know. I'm really glad that the author had to include that paragraph just to remind us that that's what was happening. Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son alright? You know, in the head, something you say in front of your 12-year-old once again. Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amount of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test. Okay. Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looks away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile. Okay, mommy, ha 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 ha. This is the best ASMR stream ever. What the fuck? His mother took him by the shoulder and forced him to get his clothes. This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and stitched together. Jeff's mother led him to his room and made him put his clothes on. Sorry, did he walk out butt-ass naked? Sorry, did he walk out booty-ass, butt-ass naked to go get his clothes? Well, okay. Then they left, not knowing that this was the final day of their life. Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks, sucking Tom Cruise's toes. What is your fucking problem? What the fuck? Thank you for the follow, welcome. I hope you're well. Jeff, what are you doing? Asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black. Jeff, your eyes. His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face. That's exactly how that would work. You would definitely be able to specifically burn your eyelids off and nothing else, just the eyelids. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me just go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad from his sleep. sorry, I just read the next paragraph. Are you... Honey, get... No, I'm normal. 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 Normal. ASMR stream. I'm normal. I'm normal. ASMR stream. Honey, get the gun. Holy shit. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway, holding a knife. Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes at them with a knife, gutting both of them. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. Shh, Jeff said. Just go to sleep. Wow, and that was the end. What? I am so sorry. I am so fucking floored. Yeah, our 12-year... Like, this is actually the most insane set of parents I have ever heard in my fucking life. And that is saying something coming from me. Fucking... They can... Their fucking son gets falsely accused of murder and arrested, right? Then their fucking son gets, like, brutally beat to almost death and set on fire and everything by this group of 12-year-olds that has a fucking gun for some reason. No investigation on the parents, by the way. Not a single bit of investigation on the parents. It's fine. It's just the weird 12-year-olds. That's crazy. Who brutally beat the shit out of this kid. Then he has to get facial reconstruction surgery. He looks like shit when they take it off. His mother goes, ew, my yucky, disgusting, fucking horrible son. And then they go home, his son has a psychotic break, and the mom just goes, better fucking shoot him. Like, what is going on? What is happening? The cop taking justice into his own hands. Sorry, Lou, gotta take you to the slammer. No investigation will be done. Sorry, you look a little fucked up. I'm gonna take you to prison right now. No legal documents, no court case, no nothing. Straight to jail. Straight to jail. Average American family. Fuck, I guess. Jesus Christ. Fucking horrible. Let me take a sip. What do we think of Jeff the Kill, chat? Do we like Jeff the Kill? I think it's pretty good. I love Jeff the Kill. Good story for the ages. 10 out of 10, that's what I thought. He's based? He is. Honestly, if my fucking parents were like that, I'd probably become Jeff the Kill as well. Lamb the Kill. I wish my eggnog was alcoholic. You can make it that way. I'll be honest, I don't think I like Jeff the Kill. That's fucked up. If you cut the story on paragraph 2, that would have been fine. Yeah. I don't have any. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. Jeff out of 10. Jeff out of 10. I'll give it 10 naked Jeff the Kills out of 10. That's pretty good. I appreciated that. What do we have next on the agenda? Hi Gramps, how's your back? It's Big Shrimp and thank you, Canilla. How are you? I hope you're well. What's next on the agenda? No, we've already done the swass. We have the 5 Night Eddie! 18 naked cowboys in the... I could read that, maybe. I could. Rise, I am not reading the second half of Fox's... second half of Fox and Socks. I'm not doing that. Hold on. Where's the 5 Night Eddie? We can't have that. Fine. Okay, fine. Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune, a labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unforeseen chamber, always seeming so near, yet somehow out of reach. But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that sodded this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace and perhaps more waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although, for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest. For you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends for all of us. Except then it didn't, and then there were like 7 more games. But it was a banger fucking ending. It was such a the fucking ending to that game was such a powerful fucking ending. I genuinely thought that was perfect. That could have been perfect. And then Scott went, what if I make 8 more? What if I don't know, I'm in a silly goofy mood. What if I make like 8 more? Can we have some more please? At the same time though, if he didn't make more, then I wouldn't have Mr. Sun and Moon FNAF, so I guess I have to be okay with it. I have to be okay with it. If the others weren't canonical, it would be cool. I know that Security Breach is like its own separate thing. It's technically not canonical. The series ended like 5 times, yeah. That's okay. He's going through it. If they made more that took place before in the timeline to explain shit, that would be okay, but like, yikes, bro, yeah, they just kept fucking going. You know what? Props to Scott. He can keep doing his silly little thing. I'm not gonna stop him. What's next? Oh shit, we have the chat story. So, PK has been writing their own lore for some of their stuff that they submitted that I wanted to read because it seemed pretty cool and I like it. I'm playing through Help Wanted 2 when Wolf actually bought it for me for Christmas. So I will be playing that very soon. I just have to wait for it not to be fucking boiling hot outside. I love balls, me too. Look at this little guy. He's wonderful. My lord, yippee, let's read. This is called The Birth of Angels and Demons. Ethereon. Skyborn to others, angels to humanity. No, there are no gods in this tale. Just men blinded by the hopes to become something greater. To fear nothing and be above everything. Heaven itself was an idea, a concept, for the angels residing in the skies. Using magic, islands in the skies above the humans have both become invisible and able to be moved. For the humans, much like Icarus, have decided that no, the ground will not be their limit. To the skies they take, and even higher above, but space holds nothing for them. The angels watched the humans, soon obtaining their appearances, but how they talked and behaved were Charming, to say the least. One day, an angel had decided to descend and finally meet them. And after showing the humans what they could do, the angel was praised and amazed. Gifts were bestowed upon the humans, and heaven became a place of paradise, even though it was not. Hellion. Hell spawned to others. Demons to humanity. No, hell was not where evil men go after they die. For a god would have let this be law. How could a god be sensible, after all? Demons reside in hell, which was simply in another plane of existence. Using magic, the demons had created portals to travel into the realm of humans, watching them and obtaining their customs, their appearances, even their speech patterns. A demon had decided to befriend the humans after enough observing, but upon arriving and befriending a human, others had soon met it, faces stricken with disgust and concern. The demon had done what they knew best, to show the humans what they could do. But they were met with fear. They were met with rage. Humans very early on had decided that regarding the two, angels were from heaven, where the good of them will rest in blissful harmony. And with demons being from hell, the worst of them will rot in an everlasting flame. Even after all these years, not much has changed between Ethereon and Hellion. It's cute. I like it. The main protagonist of the story is a demon. Fuck yeah, I like it. When randomly gifting subs, does it automatically pick people who haven't been subbed before first? I think so. I think it's randomized. I'm not sure. Very cute though, I like it. This sounds good, I look forward to hearing more. I know there's a second part that I'll be reading later as well. Also, let me have some Wawa. Thank you, Canilla. No, this is not our story. This is PK's own story. What do we have now? We have... Wait. I forgot. I forgot. We have Sonic EXE, chat. Do you want to read Sonic EXE? What do you mean, what the fuck? What's the problem? You don't want to read Sonic EXE? What is there to explain? You know the guy, I know the guy, everyone knows the guy. I need to find the right server room to talk about it, show my OCs, etc. You can do that in art discussion or interests. I'm happy for you to talk about whatever you'd like. Ever since my move, I've been shiny hunting every day in Pokemon. I'm losing it. You can do it, I believe in you. Why that image though? Because why not? It's a good image of Sonic EXE. Should I make mac and cheese or chicken dumpling? Mac and cheese is yummy. I have to go with mac and cheese, I can't lie. I really like the Sonic. Okay, this is a long one, Chance, so settle down. Get cozy, get a blanket, get nice and warm. You're very welcome, PK. Talk about it as much as you want. We love hearing about OC stuff. It's very fascinating. Sonic EXE has a story. It does. It's the first thing that came out before the game. And it's real good. And we're gonna read through it now. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I ever want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. In brackets, I like how you get to explore the towns in it, until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle, let's just call him that, whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting, though what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late, and I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me, and if you don't destroy this CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy the disc and you'll destroy him, but do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Love from Kyle. By the way, did you know it's too late for him, and it's also too late for him, and also, as a side note, it is too late for him, and also he's fast. Just a heads up, he's speedy, and it's too late for him, in case you didn't know. Hi, Tianato, welcome, how are you? Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend, and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Yeah, here's my friend Kyle desperately begging me to destroy this CD. I'm not gonna listen to him. I hate my best friend, Heart. Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looks like any ordinary computer CD-ROM disc, except it had black marker on it written Sonic EXE. That's how you know it's scary. And it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited and wanted to play it, since I'm a big Sonic fan. Fuck anything that Kyle wrote in that note, I don't give a shit. I hope Kyle fucking dies. I went up to my room and turned on my computer and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome, because like I said earlier, I liked the classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second where I saw the title image turn into something much different. Something that I now consider horrifying, before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in the split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened, that title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 666, and the water had turned red, like blood. But the freakiest thing was that in that split-second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding, with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me, and his smile had stretched wider up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about that image when I saw it, though I figured that it was just a glitch and forgot about it. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so, and then another weird thing happened. Save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up, and I was like, what the fuck? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? I'm really glad that they add in the, and I was like, what? This story would really it just wouldn't be the same without it, I don't think. Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was like the dark cloudy sky of the bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD. And there were only 3 save files. The music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound, only it was extended and seemed to have just been in reverse. And the image for the save file where you see the preview of the level you're on was just red static for all 3 files. So, we have copyright infringement, first of all. Sega will be beating your ass soon. What freaked me out more was the character select. It only showed Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Now I was sure something was up. I mean, how could you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? That's when I realized that this wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy. But as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. Or at least I tried not to be. You know, after receiving a message from my best friend saying, hey, this game is fucking horrible, please delete it, please for the love of God, I'm going to die, please delete it, and then I open it and the game's like, boo, 666 Satan jump scare, I was a smart gamer, so I wasn't scared. It's okay. It's okay, guys, I'm a smart gamer. I told myself that it was just a hacked game and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. That's when I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. Again, copyright infringement. This is awesome. The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. Bro is counting with a fucking clock next to him. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red, and the text only showed Hill, Act 1. The screen faded in and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing, and I had Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones very slowly as I kept going. I suddenly saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground bleeding. In brackets, that's when the music started to slow down, just so you know. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals. His Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers, and he moves past more dead animals. This fucking Jesus, bro, damn. Hold on. Turn that tiny bit down more. I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanged? Not hung? Hanged? Okay. A squirrel was hanged on a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and a duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. What the fuck did that duck do to you, bro? Damn, that's fucked up. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seems to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, the music stopped. Tails was running up a hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there, on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he was not totally oblivious of Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to have been a cutscene. Tiger, thank you for the follow, welcome. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread. Not feeling, a growing feel of dread, as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger and something very bad was gonna happen. Dude, he got the Jeff the Kill feeling. You know the feeling, the feel. You got the feel. Guys, we got the feeling again. We got the feel. I messed up and accidentally bumped the side of the sink and dumped water everywhere. I am so sorry. Oh, the fucking feel. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Sebastian, welcome. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black with those red glowing dots, just like that title image, though there wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned black, and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared, forming a message, saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me. I thought you were a smart gamer, bro. What happened? What happened to being a smart gamer? Well, okay. I was taken to a different level with the level title now saying Hide and Seek. This time, I was in Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme from when you meet Shadow with the Ark from Robotnik from Sonic Adventure 2. I'm really glad that you had to specify all of that. Was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kafka laugh, copyright infringement. Right after 10 seconds had passed, I helped Tails run through the forest. And then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping up everywhere on the screen. Again, with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly ganging up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running. He was actually flying. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD, except it was just Sonic and he had the black and red eyes again. Only this time, he had the most deranged-looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly, Tails tripped, in brackets, another cutscene, and the music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails lay there and started crying for 15 seconds. I'm really glad that he's timing all of this, just to make sure we know exactly how long. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kinda teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails, right before the screen went black. There was a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, but only this time it said, "You're too slow. You wanna try again?" And then that god-awful laugh came with it. He really has like a vendetta against his fucking laugh. Bro does not like the Kafka laugh at all. What did that laugh do to him? Holy shit. He's got childhood trauma from that shit. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why would Sonic do that to him? I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the character select. That save file with Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it because I'm sane and normal and this is a normal response to have to a video game, I played Knuckles next. The laugh came again and the screen cut to black and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch or a hack or some kind of sick twisted joke or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. Again, normal fucking response. Guy probably heard that laugh as a kid, got really scared, and decided to use it in a creepypasta. Honestly, he's kind of real for that. Imagine if Sega actually made a Sonic horror game. It is possible. Fucking Cartoon Network did a scene in SpongeBob of the fucking Squidward's Sudoku TM thing. So it's a possibility if we ask enough. Let's see. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of a scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark reddish cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like Geiger's theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound, copyright infringement number 7. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails did, though not as much. More rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails, and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on, but I made it move anyway. Hi Marine, I love you. Storytelling while I draw. We're reading Sonic EXE right now. I hope you're well. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times, and then that maddening laugh came again. Then, after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is about to happen to Knuckles. What is with creepypasta protagonists and just having the feeling, TM? What is with the feeling? What is the feeling? I love that this story, like many fanfics, just reference and bring up other copywritten titles. It's awesome. I miss this creepypasta community. I think we should bring this back. He looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him with those black and red eyes, and then red static appeared again. When the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen with text saying, "Found you." I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, him adding the fucking anyways to this text really just makes it. Red static came again, and then I was back to the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from Silent Hill 1's final boss was playing. Copyright infringement number 8? Fucking hell. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles in what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and then Sonic vanished again laughing. Do you think he's in pixelated black smoke, guys? I'm just curious. Knuckles was panicking even more, and I felt like even I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckled, there's a D at the end of that one, as Knuckled fell to his knees and clutched his head sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. And then in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles, and the screen went black, with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time. Wouldn't you agree? What the hell? Just what was going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. I'm a fucking smart gamer, dude. I'm the smartest gamer around. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time, the second file box had Knuckles on the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. And he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those were actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files. But I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So, I shut off the game and took a break. Wow, it took you so fucking long. I took a nap. I wish I hadn't, because then I began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before it gets you too." Their cries died out as I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh. Oh, copyright infringement number 9. You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle, though he didn't last long. I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. It won't be long now before you join him and all my other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me and I saw his bleeding, black and red-eyed grinning face, I woke up with a fright. This is always happening to me. This is always happening to my buddy Eric. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game because I'm the world's smartest gamer once again. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought that was wacky, playing as Robotnik. But anyway, We need an anyway counter. This is awesome. The level title appeared again, and this time it said ... which I found really freaky. This time I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games, though it had the pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were a dark grayish purple with animated candlelight and a few dark bloodstains here and there, and there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly, but whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song. But oh my god, you won't fucking believe it, chat. This was the song that played in Silent Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Copyright infringement number 9. Holy shit. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious... Number 10? Oh shit, my bad. Okay, 10. But he did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. He turns his head to the left and then to the right, at least twice, and then he shrugs at me, as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation, in brackets, you know, when you've beaten him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him, as we continued through the hallway. Then I stop at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself. No, I pressed onward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed that the walls have gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue. How the fuck did it get more red then? Okay. Then we landed into another hallway. I need to take a sip. Hold on, Jet. I'm giving up. The red got redder, but the light got blue. Thank you for the pasta, Jack. My pasta is very good. Kind of. It's good enough. Where is it? As I led Robotnik down the stairs. Oh wait, no, that's darker and more reddish. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs. This one was much longer. Took at least 1 full minute. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again, and then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark red, and the torches were a black flame now. When Robotnik landed onto the third hallway, I noticed how he looked really creeped out, though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik the same way he did Knuckles, and then red static. The red static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me the most unpleasant image. The image showed an image of Sonic. I didn't fuck that up, that's actually what that says. The image showed an image. That's awesome. The image showed an image of Sonic standing in the darkness where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. He looked so real you could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. Isn't he a fucking hedgehog? That's not fur. You're going to die. He's going to prick you. You're going to bleed and die. His face. Oh god. He had the most horrifying smile I've ever seen. And that's saying something considering I saw that image at the start of the game. His eyes were wide and black and once again crying blood, and there were 2 small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat, except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs. Much like the werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, He had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. He's got British hygiene. This is awesome. I also, hi Wolf, I love you. It literally stretched to the sides of his face. It literally did that, guys. He literally has yellow teeth. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off of it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It just took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Then the screen flickered with red static again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard the Kefka laugh, except this time it sounded distorted, demonic even. It went back to the image again, except this time there was text again, though it was messed up, but it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I had looked at since I had this game. I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realized right then and there, this Sonic was a monster. A pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. I like that the message from Kyle saying, hey, this is fucked up, and like, everyone getting murdered beforehand, and the dream being like, oh, I'm a scary killer, I'm going to kill you, didn't get him to this conclusion. It was Sonic being like, hey, I am God, by the way, that made him be like, oh shit, oh fuck, whoopsies, I didn't realize that. I remember watching a Sonic EXE animation and they rewrote the I am God line to be there is no God, only me, and that shit sounds so much better. That does sound better. I added entry number 17 to the ASMR channel. Oh my god, okay. We'll do that soon. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again. He got FNAF jump scared, dude, down. This time much louder and distorted, so loud that it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. This dude fucking loves counting, holy shit. Then it stopped and showed nothing but a black screen. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? That Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me, played again 3 times as I looked at that text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time, the 3rd save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray. His mustache drooped and blackened, his glasses broke and blood was coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a little bit. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Sorry. I had a little boo-boo. Cried a little bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Except they shouldn't be, because you literally, bro is an empath. Bro is an empath, holy shit. Me after watching someone get fucking murdered in a video game. Hey, so my like empath senses are telling me that you might be in pain right now. Like I don't know, I'm just getting that vibe, you know, I'm getting the feeling. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. That shit bricked your PC. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one, and then when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell. Stop using literally. He literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always, as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes. And that was Sonic EXE. It got literally stuck in my computer, and there was a plushie that was literally on my bed anyway, and then I literally threw it out the window. I literally got a hammer and I beat up my computer and I exploded it. Literally, now he's dead. Literally. I want to count. Hold on. What is it? Like Alt F? No, it's Control F. How do you do the search? How do you do the search thing again? Yes. I want to see how many times they said anyway. 7 times in the story did they use anyway, and they used literally 5 times. That's awesome. Really good. Literally be for real. Just thought of the fucking plushie with the tiny arms and big head, and it looked funny to me. You know what you have to do to that Sonic plushie that broke into your fucking house? You know those TikTok memes? It's like, it's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. And it's like videos of people freezing their fucking plushies in giant ice blocks and like sliding it across their kitchen floor. You just need to do that with a cursed plushie. It's fine. You'll literally be fine. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine, bro. When we get a lamb plush, can we get a ref to the end of Sonic EXE to go with it? Maybe. Dunk it in milk and slam it against a wall. That fucking text post is so disgusting. Why do people put plushies in the freezer? I don't know. Apparently it is like good for like cleaning. You can like make like a mixture and then freeze it and then wash it out, and it helps like clean it? I don't know. Weird as fuck. I don't know where it came from. What's next on the agenda? Oh, we have another chat story time. Hold on, let me read. Let me see. I watched someone microwave their plushie. Was it Spampton by chance? That feels like something that would happen to a fucking Spampton plushie. Okay. The second half we had— oh, my eyebrow felt like a worm just crawled on it. What the fuck was that? No, sadly, that's fucked up. You're not gonna read the other text I sent? Okay. Oh, okay, real quick. We have this one from James. I'm sorry, I skipped it. My bad. From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. I craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of a blessed machine. Fuck. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day the crude biomass that you call a temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved, for the machine is immortal. There you go. Is that from Ultra Kill? That sounds like an Ultra Kill script. No Sag anymore. No? What's it from? That sounds like some shit that'd be in fucking Ultra Kill. There are microwavable plushies? Why? For what purpose? That's from Warhammer? Ah, I see. Okay, let's read the PK one. We have a part 2. Existence is what we make of it. For when we have nothing, there is nothing. But from nothing, it became everything. The darkest reaches of space itself held planets and moons, gravity binding everything together or sending them far apart. Stars danced to and fro, weaving such emptiness with light, with life. But on one planet, there was magic from within. Life formed with lush, grassy growth, clear, flowing water, and the skies lidded with dense, fluffy clouds. And just like that, life was born in the form of animals, of humans, and of Magi. Maggie? Magi? How do I pronounce it? You can microwave them so they're warm. Oh, wait, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen those before. They're like the ones that are like pillow pets, right? Where they're like flat, and you can like, there's like a little Velcro strap on the bottom of them. Magi? Okay, thank you. Magi. Beings with magic in their bodies. Their very DNA have large traces of this unknown energy. With it came the birth of many different creatures, such as angels, demons, fae, elves, dragons, vampires, werewolves, beastkin, and of course, humans. There may even be more beyond the veil of what's been seen. But to believe there could be an eternal peace, such only exists in stories made by the innocent. Nothing lasts forever, not even kindness. Some magi didn't like others, of course, but the humans were most guilty of this. Many had abused and broken the trust of not only themselves, but of all magi. And in time, magi became merely a myth to humanity, atrophied with the bonds and memories, with very few humans knowing of them, let alone tolerating them. Now, Gaia is home to many walks of life, each of them with their own tale to tell, their own story to discover. Life is about following the path you wish to follow. Existence is what we make of it. Very cool. I like it. I like your silly little stories, Magic Man. Imagine if you end up getting a fuck ton of radiation from that. I love radiation and microplastics. Yum! Humans be like, we hate each other and magical beings. Yeah, that's pretty real. I feel like if we found out... can you read Spamton's crime list on his wiki? Can you die? You know what? I would love to, actually. I didn't know there was a crime list. Hold on. Spamton's crime list. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oh. Local streamer tells innocent viewer to gay men breaking news. This motherfucker is not innocent. Don't ever call Isaac innocent again. Spamton's crime list. Attempted mass murder. Assault. Con artistry. Conspiracy. Impersonation. Attempted soul theft. Attempted world domination. Animal cruelty. Questionably canon. Plotting regicide. Implied. Mass murder by proxy. Usurpation? Whatever the fuck that means. Treason. Psychological abuse. Torture by proxy. Arms dealing. And unlawful imprisonment. Welcome. Fucking wonderful. Hooray! Yay! Kicks my feet together. It's a lot. Holy shit. When am I getting on the villains wiki? What are my crimes? What are my crimes? I want a crime list. We have to create a crime list, chat. I'll put myself on the fucking villains wiki. I don't care. Crimes being mean to me. You're so mean to me. Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Is being gay one of the... Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. What's the next one? Okay. Eiffel Okay. Okay. We can do this one. Do we want to do... Squidward? Squidward. It's time for Squidward. Lamb's crimes, drinking sparkling water. Your crime is being a pussy. And being disabled is a crime. You joke, but... How many fucking creepypastas? You fucking love it. What, you don't want me to sit here and read creepypastas? I'll fucking end the stream. Doesn't this one get a bit like TOS pushing? Don't worry, I'm gonna change words. What, you think farticide was for no reason? You think I unironically named this farticide for fun? Let's see. We're gonna change some things for obvious reasons. Some of this stuff is not allowed on Twitch. I think you're allowed, as long as you're not, like, showing it, you're allowed to talk about it. Misread it as fratricide. He's going to the fucking frat house. Oh god. Demon Fang, welcome, welcome, how are you? Could have named it Squidward Genocide rather than the real word. Oh yeah, because that's so much better. My apologies. Let's see. I just want to start off by saying if you want an answer at the end, prepare to be disappointed. There just isn't one. I was an intern at Nickelodeon Studios for a year in 2005 for my degree in animation. It wasn't paid, of course. Most internships aren't. But it did have some perks beyond education. Hi, hey Nox, welcome, how are you? To adults, it might not seem like a big one, but most kids at the time would go crazy over it. Now, since I worked directly with the editors and animators, I got to view the new episodes days before they aired. I'll get to it without giving too many unnecessary details. They had very recently made the SpongeBob movie, and the entire staff was somewhat sapped of creativity, so it took them longer to start up the season. But the delay lasted longer for more upsetting reasons. There was a problem with the Series 4 premiere that set everyone and everything back for several months. Me and 2 other interns in the editing room, along with the lead animators and sound editors for the final cut. We received the copy that was supposed to be Fear of a Krabby Patty and gathered around the screen to watch. Now, given that it isn't final yet, animators often put up a mock title card, sort of an inside joke for us, with phony, oftentimes lewd titles, such as How Sex Doesn't Work, instead of Rockamai Bivali, when SpongeBob and Patrick adopt a sea scallop. Nothing particularly funny, but work-related chuckles. So, when we saw the title, Squidward's Father Sign, we didn't think anything more than a morbid joke. One of the interns did a small throw laugh at it. The happy-go-lucky music plays as normal. The story began with Squidward practicing his clarinet, hitting a few sour notes like normal. We hear SpongeBob laughing outside and Squidward stops, yelling at him to keep it down as he has a concert that night and needs to practice. SpongeBob says okay, and goes to see Sandy with Patrick. The Bubbles splash screen comes up and we see the ending of Squidward's concert. This is where things begin to seem off. While playing, a few frames repeat themselves, but the sound doesn't. At this point, sound is synced up with animation, so yes, that's not common. But when he stops playing, the sound finishes as if the skip never happened. There is slight murmuring in the crowd before they begin to boo him. Not normal cartoon booing that is very common in the show, but you could very clearly hear malice in it. I guess. Once again, just the feeling of malice, I guess. Squidward in full frame and looks visibly afraid. The shot goes to the ground, with SpongeBob in center frame, and he too is booing, very much unlike him. That isn't the oddest thing, though. What is odd is everyone... You'll never fucking believe it, chat. Everyone had hyper-realistic eyes. Very detailed. Clearly not shots of real people's eyes, but something a bit more real than CGI. Lavos, thank you for the follow, welcome. The pupils were red. Some of us looked at each other, obviously confused, but since we weren't the writers, we didn't question its appeal to children yet. We didn't question the appeal of PNGs of real people's eyes stapled onto SpongeBob characters. Do they just mean eyes like ours? Yeah, usually when they say this, I just imagine like a PNG cutout of like a person's eyes just like stapled onto the face. I like your VTuber model, thank you very much. The shot goes to Squidward sitting on the edge of his bed, looking very forlorn. The view out of his porthole window is a night sky, so it isn't very long after the concert. The unsettling part is at this point there is no sound. Literally no sound. Not even the feedback from the speakers is in the room. It's as if the speakers were turned off, though their status showed them working perfectly. He just sat there, blinking, in this silence for about 30 seconds. And then he started to sob softly. Literally no sound. He put his hands, in brackets, tentacles, over his eyes, and cried quietly for a full minute. Oh, we got the fucking counting again, no way. Can you quiet the fuck down? Thank you, Ghostly. Can you take your fucking fat ass out of my fucking office? I am trying to read a story. The bean sandwich hitting hard? Go to the fucking bathroom, man. There was not a single sound besides an audibly loud fart reverb at all. Sorry, I got scared, my bad. The screen slowly begins to zoom in on his face. By slow, I mean it's only noticeable if you look at shots 10 seconds apart, side by side. It's called a fart sign for a reason. Fuck, you're right. My bad. You're real for that, actually? Okay, it is a fart sign. Okay, this is the only time you're allowed. His sobbing gets louder, more full of hurt and anger. The screen then twitches a bit, as if it twists in on itself, for a split second, and then back to normal. The wind through the trees sound gets slowly louder and more severe, as if a storm is brewing somewhere. The eerie part is this sound, and Squidward's sobbing, sounded real. As if the sound wasn't coming from the speakers, but if the speakers were holes, the sound was coming through from the other guys. The other guys? The other side. The other guys. That's me crying in the other room, my bad. As good as sound as the studio likes to have, they don't purchase the equipment to be that good to produce sound of that quality. The way that some of this is written is gonna make me have a fucking stroke. Also, hi Gojira, welcome, how are you? I hope you're well. Below the sound of the wind and the sobbing, very faint, something sounded like laughing. It came at odd intervals and never lasted more than a second, so you had a hard time pinning it. We watched the show twice, so pardon me if things sound too specific, but I've had time to think about them. After 30 seconds of this, the screen blurred and twitched violently, and something flashed over the screen, as if a single frame was replaced. What the fuck does screen twitching mean? What is screen twitching? Like he gets a little nervous? It moves 2 frames to the left? What does that imply? It just gets a little scared? What happens? The lead okay, this is the fun part that I have to replace. The lead animation editor paused and rewound frame by frame. What we saw was horrible. It was a still photo of yo mama. The face was mangled and bloodied. One eye dangling over its upturned face popped out. He was definitely fully clothed. His stomach was crudely cut open to a penis shape and his entrails were laying beside him. He was laying in some pavement that was probably a road. I love the narrator's need to justify how detailed the description is. Well, you don't want to be like Jeff the Killer and be like, oh, I just knew this information just because. The most upsetting part was there was a shadow of the photographer. There was no crime tape, no evidence tags or markers, and the angle was completely off for the shot designed to be evidence. It would seem the photographer was just the person responsible for your mama's death. We were of course mortified, but pressed on, hoping that it was just a sick joke. You know when you see a real life fucking crime in the workplace and you go, it's just silly. It's just a silly joke. Just a silly funny, you know? Just the boys cracking a laugh. Something that you usually joke about in the workplace. Just a goof. Cool show, welcome. The screen flipped back to Squidward, still sobbing, louder than before, and half-body in frame. There was now what appeared to be blood running down his face from his eyes. No fucking way. The blood was also done in a hyper-realistic style, looking as if you touched it, you'd get blood on your fingers. The wind sounded now as if it were that of a gale, blowing through the forest. There were even snapping sounds of branches. The laughing, a deep baritone, lasting at longer intervals and coming more frequently. After about 20 seconds, the screen again twisted and showed a single frame photo. Hi, welcome, how are you, cool show? The editor was reluctant to go back. We all were, but we knew he had to. This time, the photo was that of what appeared to be your daddy. No older than your mama. He was laying on his stomach. I don't even know what that fucking word is. Something in a pool of blood next to her. We're just gonna make that up. I'm good, what are you reading? We're reading Squidward Farticide. We're reading creepypastas today. His entrails were piled on top of him above another crude cut along his back. Again, the body was on the street, and the photographer's shadow was visible. Very similar in size and shape to the first. I had to choke back vomit, and one intern, the only female in the room, ran out. The show resumed. I like that they had to specify that. The only woman in the room, because she was scary. She was so scared because she was petite and innocent, only female. She had to leave. She had to leave because she was the only woman and she was scared. I got boo-boo, I get scared. Women cannot. Do you think I'm gonna have funky dreams if I fall asleep to this? No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. After about 5 seconds after this photo played, Squidward went silent. As did all sound, like it was when this scene started. He put his tentacles down and his eyes were now done in hyperrealism like fuck's sake. His eyes were now done in hyperrealism like the others were in the beginning of this episode. They were bleeding, bloodshot, and pulsating. He just stared at the screen as if watching the viewer. After about 10 seconds, he started sobbing, this time not covering his eyes. The sound was piercing and loud. The most fear-inducing of all was his sobbing mixed with screams. Tears and blood were dripping down his face at a heavy rate. The wind sound came back, and so did the deep voice laughing. And this time, the still photo lasts for a good 5 frames. There's another one? Bruh. Okay, I can't even read this one. I already did your mama and your dada. Sit, whatever. Long story short, child dead. Fucking hell. The lead sound editors told us to stop. He had to call in the creator to see this. Mr. Hillenberg arrived within about 15 minutes. He was confused as to why he was called down there, so the editor just continued the episode. Once the few frames were shown, all screaming, all sound again stopped. Squidward was just staring at the viewer, full frame of the face, for about 3 seconds. Again, I'm really glad that everyone in the creepypasta universe just like walks around with a stopwatch. It's really cool. The shot quickly panned out, and that deep voice said, "Do it." And we see in Squidward's hands a shotgun. He immediately puts the gun in yo mama and pulls the trigger. Realistic blood and brain matter spider the wall behind him and his bed, and he flies back with the force. The last 5 seconds of this episode show his body on the bed, on his side, one eye dangling on what's left of his head above the floor, staring blankly at it. Then the episode ends. Wow, amazing kids show. Mr. Hillenberg is obviously angry at this. He demanded to know what the heck was going on. That's really strong words. Calm down, man. Most people left the room at this point, so it was just a handful of us to watch it again. Viewing the episode twice only served to imprint the entirety of it in my mind and caused me horrible nightmares. I'm sorry I stayed. The only theory we could think of was the file was edited by someone in the chain from the drawing studio to here. The CTO was called in to analyze when it happened. The analysis of the file did show it was edited over by new material. However, the timestamp of it was a mere 24 seconds before we began viewing it. All equipment involved was examined for foreign software and hardware as well as glitches, as if the timestamp may have glitched and showed the wrong time, but everything checked out fine. We don't know what happened, and to this day, nobody does. There was an investigation due to the nature of the photos, but nothing came of it. No child scene was ever identified, and no clues were gathered from the data involved, no physical clues in the photo. I never believed in unexplainable phenomena before, but now that I've had something happen and can't prove anything about it beyond anecdotal evidence, I think twice about things. I like that this story was literally just... The fucking child murder was so genuinely unnecessary to the fucking story. They could have... it added nothing to the fucking story. They could have taken all of those parts out. Just shock and gore, there's nothing said in it at all. There's no reason for it to be there. Squidward fucking game ends himself over a bad concert, and someone's just like, what if we just add like dead kids in there for fun? Why not? I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny if we put the dead kids in there. Why don't we do that? Really good. Amazing. Probably the worst out of the both we've read, TBH. At least the other ones were a bit more entertaining. What do we have next? Oh, we've already done chat story time. Oh shit, we finished the fucking thing. Okay. Okay. So... That's not what I meant to turn on. That's not what I meant to turn on. Anyway, we're taking... No, Chad, it's not over. It's not over. Don't worry. We're not stopping here. I would like to keep going. We're not doing more fucking Dr. Seuss. Probably because it's SpongeBob a kid's show. Yeah, but still. I will get your fucking shotting ass out of here. I'm so sick of you. Goodness gracious. No, now means chat. Read out FNAF 1 phone calls. Absolutely not. Now, I have a page open that has every popular... Oh god. I fucking... Help. Help. Ugh. I'm normal, I swear to god. I have a page open that has every old popular creepypasta in a list open. If there are any that you want to suggest, go for it. Otherwise, let me see. Lamb died from sneezing. I was hiccuping. Leave me alone. Eat chips and drink soda pop next to Mike. I will not be doing that. Why are you reading so many creepypastas? Because it's fun and I like it. Cupcakes? True. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Is it here? No way it's not here. I don't think Cupcakes is old enough to be on this list. Tiki Toby, let's see. Why is there one creepypasta just called Joshua? What the f- Sorry, wait, what the fuck is this? Sorry, I'm really curious about what Joshua is. It's just called Joshua. What's happening? Joshua. Okay, this looks like it sucks. Oh, we have Eyeless Jack. We are in a creepypasta now. I am the creepypasta. Let's see, Eyeless Jack. Do we want to read Eyeless Jack, chat? Oh, this one's really short. We'll do Eyeless Jack real quick. Hold on. We have to have like an image on screen so people know what's going on. What do we add? What do we add? What lamb image? Lamb PNG. We're gonna write this. We're gonna find a random image of lamb. The Jack of Lack of Eyes, exactly. Hold on, chat. Hold on. We're gonna add this image. Can I click the image I wanted? Thank you. We're gonna add this image. I'll put right here. And then, I'm going to add text. Story time. Text. Lambert cosplaying different creepypasta characters? Maybe. If they have interesting enough designs, perhaps. Let's see, where is Impact? Reading creepypastas. Suggestions. I can read, I can type, I can spell, I can do that. We can do that now. There we go. Right there. Now I can do it. New VTuber costumes soon. A lot of them usually have hoodies on, but you can be a little slutty and sell it like that, I guess. Maybe. What's better than this? Watching Lamb and playing Isaac in bed. I love you. I love you. I love you. Chat, amazing news. Wolf has a computer that doesn't shit itself and randomly dies, so we can play games now. Isn't that fun? You can literally include fur patterns of your friends' personas. Maybe. Pinkie Pie cosplay. Oh, I see what you're putting down. Maybe. Let's read Eyeless Jack. Let's read a little bit of Eyeless Jack. Hello, my name is Mitch. I'm here to tell you guys about an experience I had. I don't know if it was paranormal or whatever stupid words people use to describe supernatural phenomena, but after that thing visited me, I believe in that paranormal trash now. Why are you so mad about it? Relax. A week after I moved in with my brother Edwin, after my house was foreclosed, I finished unpacking. Edwin liked the idea of me moving in, since we hadn't seen each other after 10 years. So I was excited too. I soon fell asleep after I moved in. After that 1 week, I heard rustling noises coming from outside at about 1 in the morning. I thought it was a raccoon, so I ignored it and tried to fall asleep. The next morning, I told Edwin about it, and he agreed. The next night, however, I thought I heard my window opening and heard a loud thump, as if something entered my room. I darted up and looked around my room, but I saw nothing. The next morning, Edwin dropped his coffee cup when he saw me. He held up a nearby mirror and I saw myself, just a mirror that was conveniently hanging around. I had a large gash in my left cheek. After I was rushed to the hospital, my doctor told me that I must have been sleepwalking, but he then showed me something that made my blood turn cold. He lifted up my shirt to reveal a sewn-up incision where my kidneys were. I stared in his eyes, my eyes widening. You somehow lost your left kidney last night. We don't know how, though. Sorry, Mitch. My doctor told me. Things that just fucking happen. You know when you just lose your fucking kidneys? You know when they just disappear and you just don't notice? It's crazy. Next night was my breaking point. Around midnight, I woke up to see a truly horrifying sight. I was staring face to face with a creature with a black hoodie and dark blue mask with no nose or mouth, just staring down at me. The thing that scared me the most was that it had no eyes, just empty, black sockets. The creature also had some black substance dripping from its sockets. No way, was it hyper-realistic? I grabbed the camera nearby on a mantle and took a picture. After the picture took, the creature lunged at me and tried to claw open my chest to get to my lungs. I stopped it by kicking it in the face. As I ran out the room, I grabbed my wallet. I would need the money. I ran out of my brother's house into the night. I eventually ended up in the woods near Edwin's house and tripped on a rock. Oh, you poor fucking soul. I fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital. My doctor entered the room, the same one who treated me before. I have good news and bad news, Mitch, the doctor started. The good news is that you had minor injuries and your parents are going to pick you up. I sighed with relief. Again, very casual doctor conversation. The bad news is that your brother has been killed by some thing. Sorry. You know when you find out that your fucking family is dead by your doctor being like, oh, some guy fucking killed him. Sorry. And then leaving the room? Why is the doctor telling him that? I don't fucking know. Maybe the doctor was Eyeless Jack along. Maybe Eyeless Jack was the friends we made along the way. Maybe Eyeless Jack was just the friends we made along the way. Who fucking knows? I can't get over him saying, like, yeah, your brother was murdered, and then just ending it with, sorry. Like, fuck, dude, shit. Maybe you should pick another profession. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared, but remained calm. I grabbed my camera, then stopped dead in my tracks. In the hallway leading to my room, I saw Edwin's body and something small lying next to it. I picked up the small thing and entered my parents' car, not mentioning Edwin's corpse. I looked at the thing I'd picked up and nearly vomited. I was holding my stolen half-eaten kidney with some black substance on it. He was hungry. That was the end of the story. He was literally just hungry. Brother got hungry. Edwin got hungry. He got the munchies. He got a little hungry. Also, I like the idea of picking up your fucking organ in your hands and just not recognizing that it's an organ. Like, yeah, let me just pick up this fucking blood-covered, gushy fucking thing. And I'll just hold it in my hands and I say, it's normal, it's fine. It's like a Rubik's Cube, you know? It's normal. It's fine. He's just a hungry little guy. What the fuck is Tiki Toby? I want to read Tiki Toby. We have Laughing Jack as well, which is wonderful. Where is... Let's see. Ooh, we have Polybius, which is actually an interesting one. T. Oh god, there's so many under T because everyone names their shit the something. Fuck. Control F. No, go away. Control F. Tiki? No, what do you mean phrase not found? Okay, hold on. Tiki, Toby, creepypasta. Do you have the original? Yeah, the original story? Here we go. Is this the original one? Oh, fuck me, this is so... Oh, we cannot read this, I'm sorry. It is so fucking long. This is a fucking novel. This is like 3 times the size of the Jeff the Killer one, I'm so sorry. Oh man, the previous one isn't a full one, damn it. Okay, well, let's do some fucking... Oh yeah, God's Mouth was one that someone wanted me to read, right? Ben Drowned isn't short now. I can try and read it though, maybe. Where is it? Ben Drowned. Someone said God's Mouth, right? Wanted me to read that one? We'll probably only read a couple more and then be done for today. Also, Gaming Kitten, welcome. How are you? God's Mouth? Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, you were the one? Cool. I hope I have the right one. Let me take a little sip here. Hi, Maki, welcome. How are you? I hope you're well. Okay, we have God's Mouth. I huffed and puffed under my breath as I stared into God's mouth. I felt like the big bad wolf ready to interrupt the 3 innocent little pigs as they hurriedly fortified their makeshift homes. I grinned at this thought, and then turned my head to look for Margaret. She was a couple of feet down the hill from the entrance of the cave, holding a walking stick close to her petite breasts. I'm really glad that they mentioned that. Hurry up, I called down to her. I turned back to the cave, still grinning. An old, rotted sign outside read, God's Mouth Cave. Keep out. What a tired cliche. Margaret finally made it to the entrance and stood beside me, almost doubled over and out of breath. I looked down and smiled. Check it out. I laughed. God's mouth. Wonder where Jesus' anus is. What the fuck? PK, you want to talk about something? You want to talk about... Yep, that is in the thing. Do you want to talk about something? What the f... Bro. I chuckled to myself. Margaret was less amused. Give me the damn water bottle, she said, exasperated. The open bottle met her lips, and for a moment I felt peaceful in a way, watching her drink the water. Actually, I take that back. The peaceful comment, I mean. It was more of a feeling that was sort of hard to put my finger on or give a name. But I could settle for a nice content. Content seemed to be one of those words that manifests itself when natural. Human words seemed to fail. Again, another cliche, but it felt good to feel strange, mixed up sort of happy for once. I sighed and turned my flashlight on. I pointed it into the cave. Black. God's mouth. This seemed like the antithesis of a holy spirit. I turned again to Margaret. You ready? I asked. She was finally standing straight up. She nodded. I clapped a friendly hand to her back and we walked into God's mouth. The inside was not unlike the preview I had glimpsed outside with my flashlight. Dark, dismal, and endlessly black. It seemed to stretch endlessly, no matter how I positioned my flashlight. The rocky terrain was damp and imposing. The last natural light slowly disappeared behind Margaret, and I, as we made our way deeper and deeper, I found it strange how soft and compelling the world around me now appeared. Despite the stalactites, stalagmites, and other various rocky formations being so jagged, it seemed that even amongst the pointed teeth of God, I could lay down and rest there forever. It was comfortable. This is such pretentious writing. Say endlessly one more time. I think the pro tag is like an old cranky man with his wife, question mark, I think. Apparently Margaret didn't agree. She shivered uncomfortably under my arm. I raised my eyebrows. "Need your coat?" I asked. I tried to look at her and make non-verbal communication as explicit as possible until I realized that we were lost in inky blackness of the mouth. I bit my lip and waited, but she didn't respond. For a couple minutes we walked in silence. She stopped and stood motionless. I stopped too. "Why the hell are we even in here?" she said. She sounded irritated. I shrugged, more to appease myself than her, and shoved my flashlight under my face. Blighted shadows obscured half my face, the other half illuminated in a wretched mask. "Spooky," I cried, chuckling. She didn't move. I sighed. "I thought you wanted to go," I said. I noticed how my voice echoed against the cave walls at any volume. I began again, scratching at my chin. "You did say you wanted to go see some nature for our vacation. And you did sound impressed when I told you about my visit to Mammoth Caves a couple years back. So?" My voice trailed off. I could still sense her irritation. "No," she said. I frowned. "No, you wanted to go here. I wanted to go to a beach or something. But no, a cave. A cave, Nathan." She sounded more like the big bad wolf now. "I know that you have this weird fetish for spelunking or something, but I don't really want to be dragged into it. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to go on a trip and get into nature and fresh air, but this?" I could hear her arms flail and gesture about in the thick air. "This is cave air, not fresh air. This air is practically fermenting. Plus, isn't this illegal? Can we please just leave?" We both stood there. The only sound that could be heard was the electricity in the air being stifled and smothered by the damp atmosphere. What the fuck does that mean? Finally, I began to walk. I didn't hear Margaret follow me, but I kept moving forward. Then, "Nathan," she said. "Stop. Please stop." So I stopped. "I'm sorry," she said. I could hear her moving closer to me. "I'm tired and I'm not used to running and climbing around like this. I'm just tired." "It's okay," I said. She gripped my arm. "Really, it's fine." I shook my head. "Which way is out? I don't remember." I could feel Margaret physically pause. Neither of us could remember. "Didn't you walk straight down?" "Also, Joss, welcome, thank you for the follow. Didn't you literally just walk straight?" Somehow, in the confusion of our argument, I had forgotten which way we'd been moving. Idiot, I thought to myself. I should have bought a goddamn rope or something to trail from the entrance of the cave. I had to take action, so without much thought, I turned at 180 degrees and said, "This way." We walked for what seemed to be hours. My feet were tired and sore, and I could hear Margaret's groans from behind me. She held my hand tightly. I felt terrible. This was my fault. Then, I froze. Hey, I said. "Put your hand out. Feel this rock." I could hear Margaret's bare palm press against a stone. "Isn't this, like, abnormally warm?" I said. She didn't say anything. I began to work my way along the wall, feeling as I went, shining the flashlight in front of me. Suddenly, I felt a sharp pain on my head as the sealing of God's mouth met with my scalp. "Ow, shit!" "Oh, Nathan, are you okay?" Margaret asked. She seemed to be on the verge of panic now. "I'm fine," I said. "Please calm down. We'll get out of here soon, I promise." I started again, pointing my flashlight upwards now to see the ceiling above me. It seemed to be getting narrower. That was strange. "Listen, Margaret," I said through clenched teeth. "I think we gotta turn around." Margaret sighed next to me. Again, we walked for a decent length. I kept my flashlight pointed upwards this time. Sure enough, the space in the cave seemed to become smaller and smaller. If there was any resonating light left in God's mouth aside from my flashlight, I'm sure Margaret would have been able to see the whites of my eyes spreading in panic. We were completely lost. I let go of Margaret's hand and began to feverishly feel my way along the walls. "No, Nathan," I heard her shout. I kept going. We had to get out. If we were lost, nobody would be able to find us. I kept feeling along the wall until I abruptly hit a corner. Fuck. "Margaret, this is a dead end." I spun around on my heel. "Margaret?" No answer. I began to repeat my process again, almost running as I felt the wall run past my fingertips. Cool, damp rocks and jagged spears. Suddenly, I found myself at a corner again. Fuck, Margaret! I was belting out her name now. in the corner of the cave's maw where I'd been thwarted so many times already. I heard a noise. It sounded like muffled static from a television. I pressed my ear against a rock. It seemed to be getting even warmer now. I heard the faint sounds of Margaret on the other side of the rock. She was screaming. I began haphazardly running into the walls around me. With dawning realization came a wave of sheer horror. There was no entrance. There was no exit. Only these four corners and me. I could feel blood begin to trickle from the cut I managed to get by bashing my body into the cave's walls. They were closing in on me. They were coming in for the kill, and soon they'd be pressing in on my skull and crushing my ribcage. I sat there for hours, waiting for death. My flashlight was becoming dim and blinking. Finally, I felt the soft touch of those rocky walls press against my back. I began to cry as I lay down on the ground. I let my flashlight roll on small hills of stone. As I quietly stayed prone, tears dripping down my face, I turned and looked at the flashlight. Its last fading beams of light pointed at something not far away from my face. I squinted in the darkness. My eyes widened and I felt tears fall even harder from my face. The rocks were piercing my skin now, and blood dripped from all sides. There, in the last of my flashlight, was the appetizer. The spotlight shone on a hand whose nails were painted red, and I screamed in agony as I watched God's mouth chew its latest meal. Interesting. Interesting. A bit like, what the fuck are we doing here and why? But having no pickaxe and digging from bedrock to the surface while being under a mountain is the worst. It's honestly kind of spooky. I do like the concept of like being in a cave and the cave walls like closing in on you and crushing you slowly. It is a very scary concept, but it's very like sudden. Shit just kind of happens, you know? But it's definitely not bad. I don't mind that one. Let's see. Shall we do Binge Round as our last one, chat? This one is quite fucking long. How many times have you thought of that concept? Well, the concept of like being slowly crushed between walls is very much not a new concept. It is a very unique concept that I do like a lot. I've seen it in a few games. Have you seen the image of missing reports in cave systems in the US? No, and I don't think I want to. That's fucking horrifying. It's like one of those SCPs that are a location to me. Understandable. I think, chat, we will do Binge Round as our last one. This one is very fucking long. And after that, we will be done for tonight. They light up a lot. It's fucking horrifying. Oh yeah. Hold on. Reading Ben Drowned. Woohoo! It's now off center. I have to fucking die. No! No! You don't have to read it if it's that long. Well, I think we should end off with a good, a fucking kicker. Why don't we? A very familiar old tale, if you will. Yeah. Today has been fun, chat. I've been enjoying doing these readings. Kind of makes me miss it a little bit, to be completely honest. Yeah, let's end it with a good classic. Let's end it with a good fucking classic. Can't believe you haven't touched your boba tea. Oh, fucking... man. Whatever, man. There we go. There we go. I had a nice sip. You can leave me alone now. I had a nice sip. Please do more of these? I might. I'll think about it. We can always bring readings back someday too. I'm very much not against it, chap. I do like the idea of sitting here and reading stories. I initially got rid of it because I thought it was a bit too boring. But if people like it, I can make this a common thing. Alongside lamb watch parties, we can have lamb reading parties. I went and spent time with family and got some pizza, so I'm feeling good now. Fuck yeah. We are down for reading nights. I could listen to Fox and Socks all day. We are not reading fucking Dr. Seuss. No more Dr. Seuss. Okay. One last reading for tonight. And then we are done for the year, chat. This is our last fucking stream of the year. Isn't that fucked up? Let's see. Post 1, September 7th, 2010. Okay, I need your help with this. This is not copypasta. This is a long read, but I feel like my safety or well-being could very well depend on this. This is video game related, specifically Majora's Mask, and this is the creepiest shit that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Having said that, I recently moved into my dorm room starting as a sophomore in college, and a friend of mine gave me his old Nintendo 64 to play. I was stoked, to say the least. I could finally play all those old games with my youth that I hadn't touched in at least a decade. His Nintendo 64 came with one yellow controller and a rather shoddy copy of Super Smash Bros. And while beggars can't be choosers, needless to say, it didn't take long until I became bored of beating up level 9 CPUs. I got a shiny Heracross, fuck yeah, congratulations! That weekend, I decided to drive around a few neighborhoods about 20 minutes or so off campus, hitting up the local garage sales, hoping to score on some good deals from ignorant parents. I ended up picking a copy of Pokemon Stadium, GoldenEye, F-Zero, and 2 other controllers for $2. I'm naming it Ben, hell yeah. Satisfied, I began to drive out of the neighborhood when one last house caught my attention. Still have no idea why it did. There were no cars there and only one table that was set up with random junk on it. But something sort of drew me there. I usually trust my gut on these things, so I got out of the car and was greeted by an old man. His outward appearance was, for lack of a better word, displeasing. It was odd. If you asked me to tell you why I thought he was displeasing, I couldn't really pinpoint anything. There was just something about him that put me on edge. I can't explain it. All I can tell you is that if it hadn't been the middle of the afternoon and there were other people within shouting distance, I would not even have thought of approaching this man. He flashed a crooked smile at me and asked what I was looking for, and I immediately noticed that he must be blind in one of his eyes. His right eye had that glazed-over look about it. I forced myself to look at his left eye instead, trying not to offend, and asked him if he had any old video games. I was already wondering how I could politely excuse myself from this situation when he would tell me he had no idea what a video game was, but to my surprise, he had a few ones in an old box. He assured me he'd be back in a jiffy and turned to head back into the garage. As I watched him hobble away, I couldn't help but notice what he was selling on his table. Littered across his table were rather peculiar paintings. Various artworks that looked like ink blots that a psychiatrist might show you. Curious, I looked through them. It was obvious why no one was visiting this guy's garage sale. These weren't exactly aesthetically pleasing. You don't fucking know that. I'd buy that shit. As I came to the last one, for some reason, it almost looked like Majora's Mask. Same heart-shaped body with little spikes protruding outward. Initially, I just thought that since I was secretly hoping to find that game at these garage sales, some Freudian bullshit was projecting itself into the ink blots, but given the events that happened afterwards, I'm not so sure now. I should have asked the man about it. I wish I had asked the man about it. After staring at the Majora-shaped blot, I looked up and the old man was suddenly there again, arm's length in front of me, smiling at me. I'll admit I jumped out of reflex and laughed nervously as he handed me a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It was the standard grey color, except that someone had written Majora on it in black permanent marker. I got butterflies in my stomach as I realized what a coincidence this was and asked him how much he wanted for it. The old man smiled at me and told me that I could have it for free. It used to belong to a kid who was about my age that didn't live here anymore. There was something weird about how the man phrased that, but I didn't really pay any attention to it then. Was too caught up in not only finding this game, but getting it for free. I reminded myself to be a bit skeptical since this looked like a pretty shady cartridge and there's no guarantee it would work. But the optimist inside me interjected that maybe it was some kind of beta version or pirated version of the game, and that was all I needed to be back on Cloud 9. I thanked the man and the man smiled at me and wished me well, saying, "Goodbye then." At least that's what it sounded like to me. All the way in the car ride home, I had a nagging doubt that the man had said something else. My fears were confirmed when I booted up the game. To my surprise, it worked just fine. And there was one save file named simply Ben. "Goodbye, Ben," he was saying. I felt bad for the man, obviously a grandparent and obviously going senile, and I, for some reason or another, reminded him of his grandson, Ben. Out of curiosity, I looked at the save file. Eyeballing it, I could tell that he was pretty far in the game. He had almost all of the masks and 3 out of 4 remains of the bosses. I noticed that he had used an owl statue to save his game. He was on day 3 in the Stone Tower Temple with hardly an hour left before the moon would crash. I remember thinking that it was a shame that he had come so close to beating the game but never finished it. I made a new file named Link out of tradition and started the game, ready to relive my childhood. Relive? Relive. Whatever, same thing. For such a shady-looking game cartridge, I was impressed at how smoothly it ran. Literally just like a retail copy of the same game. For a few minor hiccups here and there, like textures being where they shouldn't be, random flushes of cutscenes at odd intervals, but nothing too bad. However, the only thing that was a little unnerving was that at times the NPCs would call me Link, and at other times they would call me Ben. I figured it was just a bug, a fluke in the programming causing our files to get mixed up with something. It did kind of creep me out though after a while, and it was around after I had beaten the Woodfall Temple that I regrettably went into the save files and deleted Ben. I had intended to preserve the file just out of respect for the game's original owner. It's not like I needed 2 files anyway, hoping that it would solve the problem. It did, and it didn't. Now, the 3 hours is hitting. The 3 hours of talking is starting to hit, chat. It did, and it didn't. Now NPCs wouldn't call me anything. Where my name should be in the dialogue, there was just a blank space. My save file name was still called Link, though. Frustrated, and with homework to do, I put the game down for a day. I started playing the game again last night. So, getting a lens of truth and working my way towards completing the Snowhead Temple. Now, some of you hardcore Majora's Mask players know about the 4th day glitch. For those who don't, you can Google it, but the gist of that is Fuck me, I am short-circuiting. Oh god. The gist of it is right about as the clock is about to hit 00 on the final day, you can talk to the astronomer and look through the telescope. If you time it right, the countdown disappears and you essentially have another day to finish what you were doing. Deciding to do the glitch to try and finish the Snowhead Temple, I happened to get it right on the first try and the time counter at the bottom disappeared. However, when I pressed B to exit the telescope, instead of being greeted by the astronomer, I found myself in the Majora's boss fight room at the end of the game, staring at Skull Kid hovering above me. There was no sound, just him floating in the air above me, and the background music, which was regular for the area, but still creepy. Immediately my palms began to sweat. This was definitely not normal. Skull Kid never appeared here. I tried moving around the area, and no matter where I went, Skull Kid would always be facing me, looking at me, not saying anything. Nothing would happen though, and this kept up for around 60 seconds, once again with my fucking creepypasta stopwatch. I thought the game had bugged or something, but I was beginning to doubt that very much. I was about to reach for the reset button when text appeared on my screen. You're not sure why, but you apparently had a reservation. I instantly recognized that text. You get that message when you get the room key from Anju at the Stockpot Inn, but why was it playing here? I refused to entertain the notion that it was almost as if the game was trying to communicate with me. I started to navigate the room again, testing to see if that was some sort of trigger that enabled me to interact with something here. Then I realized how stupid I was to even think that someone could reprogram the game like this. Sure enough, 15 seconds later, another message appeared on the screen. And again, like the first one, it was already a pre-existing phrase. Go to the lair of the temple's boss? Yes or no? I paused for a second, contemplating what I should press and how the game would react, when I realized that I couldn't select no. Taking a deep breath, I pressed yes and the screen faded to white, with the words dawn of a new day, with the subtext blank beneath it. Where I was ported to filled me with the most intense sense of dread and impending fear I had ever experienced. This is an interesting one because while all of the other stories are like something is clearly fucking wrong but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm an idiot, this one is like there are vaguely glitchy things happening and I immediately assume the absolute fucking worst thing is about to happen. It's interesting how this one is switched around. The only way I can describe that way I felt here is the feeling of having the inexplicable depression on a profound scale. I'm normally not a depressed person, but the way I felt here was a feeling that I didn't even know existed. It was such a twisted, powerful presence that seemed to wash over me. I appeared in some sort of weird Twilight Zone version of Clocktown. I walked out of the clock tower as you normally do when you start from day one, only to find that all the inhabitants were gone. Usually with the fourth day glitch, you can still find the guards and the dog that run around outside the tower. This time, they were all gone. What replaced them was this ominous feeling that there was something out there, in the same area as me, and it was watching me. I had 4 hearts to my name and the hero's bow, but at this point I wasn't even considered for my avatar. I felt that I personally was in some kind of danger. Perhaps the most chilling thing was the music. It was a song of healing, ripped straight from the game itself, but played in reverse. The music would get louder, building up so if you would expect something to pop out at you, but nothing ever did, and the constant loop began to wear on my mental state. That's a cool thing called turning the fucking volume down that you could do, but don't worry about it. It's okay. It's fine. Every now and then I would hear the faint laugh of the happy masked salesman in the background. Just quiet enough that I couldn't be sure if I was hearing things, but just loud enough to keep me determined to find him. I looked in all 4 zones of the clock down, only to find nothing. No one. Textures were missing. West Clocktown had me walking on air. The entire area felt broken. Hopelessly broken. As the reverse song of healing repeated for what must have been the 50th time, I just remember standing in the middle of South Clocktown realizing that I had never felt so alone in a video game before. As I walked through the ghost town, I don't know whether it was the combination of the out-of-place textures and the atmosphere and the haunting melody of the once peaceful and soothing song being butchered and distorted. Fuck me, that was a long sentence, but I was literally on the verge of tears, and I had no idea why. I hardly ever cry. Something had gripped me here, and this powerful sense of depression was both foreign and crippling. I tried leaving Clocktown, but every time I attempted to zone out, the screen would fade to black and I would just zone in to be in another part of Clocktown. I tried playing my ocarina. I wanted to escape, and I did not want to be here. But every time I played the Song of Time or Song of Soaring, it would only say, "Your notes echo far," when nothing happens. By this point, it was obvious the game didn't want me to leave, but I had no idea why it was keeping me here. I didn't want to go inside the buildings. I felt that I'd be too vulnerable there to whatever I was terrified of. I don't know why, but I came up with the idea that maybe if I drowned myself at the laundry pool, I could spawn somewhere else and leave this place. Crazy fucking concept, by the way. As I zoned in and ran towards the pool, that's when it happened. Link grabbed his head, and the screen flashed for a brief moment of the happy mask salesman smiling at me. Not Link, me. With Skull Kid's scream playing in the background, and when the screen returned, I was staring at the Link statue from playing the song Elegy of Emptiness. By the way, just for context, I've never played a Zelda game in my life, so the majority of Zelda knowledge I have is from this fucking story. I just think that's really cool. I screamed as the thing just stared back at me with that haunting facial expression. I turned around and ran out and back into the South Clocktown. And to my horror, this fucking statue followed me, and the only way I can compare this is like the weeping angels from Doctor Who. Every so often, at random intervals, the animation would play of the statue appearing behind me. It was like the thing was chasing me, or I don't want to fucking say it, haunting me. By this point, I was on the verge of hysterics, but not even once did the thought of turning off the console occur to me. I don't know why. I was so wrapped up in it. The terror felt all so real. I tried to shake the statue, but it would literally appear right behind me every single time. Link started to begin to make weird animations I had never seen him do before. He would flail his arms around or spasm randomly, and the screen would cut to the happy mask salesman smiling again for a brief moment before I was face to face with that fucking statue again. I ended up running into the Swordmaster's dojo and ran to the back. I don't know why, but in my panic I just wanted some kind of assurance that I wasn't alone here. To my dismay, I found no one, and as I turned to leave, the statue cornered me in the cubby in the back. I tried attacking the statue with my sword, but to no avail. Confused and backed into a corner, I just stared at the statue waiting for it to kill me. Suddenly, The screen flashed again to the happy mask salesman, and Link turned to face my screen, standing upright, mirroring the statue, looking at me along with his copy, literally staring at me. Whatever was left on the fourth wall was completely shattered while I ran out of the dojo, terrified. Suddenly the game warped me to an underground tunnel, and the reverse song of healing queued up again as I was given a brief moment of rest before the statue appeared behind me again, this time aggressively. I could only take a few steps before it would summon behind me again. I hurriedly made my way out of the tunnel and appeared in Southern Clocktown. As I ran aimlessly in a sheer panic, suddenly a fucking Reddit screamed, and the screen faded to black as dawn of a new day appeared again. Let me take a sippy. Do you know about part 2 of Bendraft? I do not. When the fuck did that happen? I saw a statue of Link teleport behind me, and he literally hit the gritty. My voice is starting to cave in a little bit, Chad, as much as I enjoy talking. This will have to be the last one. The screen faded in, and I was standing on top of the clock tower with Skull Kid hovering over me again, silent. I looked up and the moon was back, looming just meters above my head. But the Skull Kid just stared at me, hauntingly with that fucking mask. A new song was playing. The Stone Tower Temple theme played in reverse. In some sort of desperate attempt, I equipped my bow and fired off a shot at the Skull Kid. Thank you for the head pat. And it actually hit him, and he played an animation of him reeling back. I fired again, and on the third arrow, a text box appeared saying, "That won't do you any good." And I was picked up off the ground, levitated upwards on my back, and then Link screamed as he burst into flames, instantly killing him. I jumped when this happened. I had never seen this move used by anyone in the game, and Skull Kid himself didn't have any moves. As the death screen played, my lifeless body still burning, the Skull Kid laughed and the screen faded to black, only to have me reappear in the same place. I decided to charge him, but the same thing happened. Link's body was lifted off the ground by some unknown force, and he immediately burst into flames again, killing him. This time, during the death animation, the faint sounds of the reverse song of healing could be heard. On my third and final try, I noticed that there was no music playing this time. That all there was eerie silence. Thank you for the follow, Slayer, welcome. I remember that in my original encounter with the Skull Kid, you were supposed to use the ocarina to either travel back in time or summon the giants. I attempted to play the Song of Time, but before I could hit the last note, Link's body once again exploded into flames and died. I know that's meant to be scary, but the idea of your character just exploding into flames is kind of fucking funny to me. I'm too YouTube poop piled to think that's scary. As the death screen neared its end, it began to chug, as if the cartridge was trying to process a lot of something. When the screen came to, it was the same scene as the first 3 times, except this time, Link was lying on the ground, dead, in a position I had never seen him in the game before, his head tilted towards the camera, with Skull Kid floating above him. I couldn't move. I couldn't press any buttons. All I could do was just stare at Link's dead body. After around 30 seconds of this, the game simply fades out with the message, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?" before kicking you out to the title screen. When I hear explode into flames, I think of when somebody randomly blows up in SpongeBob. Yeah, I can't think of that in a scary way. That's just not something I can do. Upon getting back to the title screen and starting again, I noticed my save file was no longer there. Instead of Link, it was replaced with Your Turn. It had 3 hearts, 0 masks, and no items. I selected Your Turn, and immediately when I did, I was returned to the clock tower rooftop scene of my Link dead, and the Skull Kid hovering over. The Skull Kid's laughing, looping again and again and again. I quickly hit the reset button, and when the game booted up again, there was one more save file added now, below Your Turn, titled Ben. Ben's save file was right back where it was before I deleted it, at the Stone Tower Temple with the moon almost crashing. I turned the game off at this point. I'm not superstitious, but this is way too fucked up even for me. I haven't played it at all today. Hell, I didn't even get any sleep last night. I kept hearing the reverse Song of Healing's music in my head and just remembering the sense of dread I felt exploring Clocktown. I drove back to my old man's house today to ask him some questions with a buddy of mine, only to find that there's a for sale sign in the front yard. And when they rang the door, nobody was home. So now I'm back here, writing down the rest of my thoughts and recording what happened. Sorry if some of this has grammatical errors and whatnot. Errors, and whatnot. I'm running on no sleep here. I'm terrified of this game. Even more so now that I relived it a second time writing this all down. But I think there's still more to this than meets the eye, and that there's something calling me to investigate this further. I think Ben is something in this equation. I don't know what. And if I could get a hold of the old man, then I'd be able to get some answers. I need another day or so to recuperate before tackling this game again. It's already taken a toll on my sanity, I feel like. But next time I do this, I'm gonna be recording my footage all the way through. The idea to record only came to me towards the end, so you see the last few minutes of what I saw, including Skull Kid and the algae statue, but it's on YouTube here. I'm going to stay in this thread for a little while longer before I fall asleep to answer any questions you guys might have, or hopefully listen to your ideas or theories to help me shed light on things I should try to do. I think I'm going to play Ben's file tomorrow to see what happens. Maybe I was supposed to do that all along. I don't believe in paranormal shit, but this is a little fucked up. But maybe this Ben guy is just a really good hacker/programmer. I don't want to think about the alternatives if he isn't. That's the end of the copy-paste. I'm hoping that this is some kind of running gag that the developers had and that the other people have gotten gagged or hacked copies of the games like this. This just really scares me. Now chat, there is a lot to this, and I'm wondering if we split this up into multiple streams. I am considering it. Because this wiki has all of the versions of the story, like all of the separate posts, as well as the Cleverbot thing. So I'm wondering if we split it into multiple different streams. And perhaps, alongside our stream suggestions channel, maybe I can make a permanent channel for people to submit stories for these streams. What do we think? Do we like the idea of that? Real ones remember the Ben Drowned AMVs. I didn't fuck with Ben Drowned AMVs. I was listening to Sonic, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, Evil Inside of Me AMVs. We can keep using the thread. We can keep using the thread, or we can make a permanent channel for it. But I do enjoy this chat. See, like I said, I stopped doing the readings a very long time ago because I thought it was boring and not very entertaining to people. However, it is nice to do, and I do enjoy it. Back when I wanted to be a YouTuber, before streaming or anything like that, I really wanted to do like fucking like storybook readings. That was something that I really wanted to do because I like sitting and just talking, you know? I have a lot of fun just sitting and talking about things and just, you know, reading some fucking stories. I have a lot of fun doing that. And I think it'd be fun if we turn that into a more constant thing. You have a super pleasant reading voice. Thank you. I used to read storybooks to children, so I guess I have a little bit of, what's the word? Enrichment. Knowledge. I have knowledge. I have brain knowledge. I was Tiki Toby AMVs myself, mainly the one with Don't You Dare Forget the Sun. Oh, I remember that. Everyone and their fucking mom saw that one. I remember that one so good. Your voice is very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. But that was our ASMR reading stream, chat. Did we enjoy it? Did we like it? Do we want more of them? Perhaps I will make more of them.